Hello, my math champions. This is section 4.4 of Math 0028, and now we are getting into graphing. Okay, so 4.4 is kind of a short section, but it introduces the rectangular coordinate system, which is a fancy name for a graph. So you're going to need to know about the different parts of the graph, which is what we're going to talk about with Objective 1 to understand the vocabulary of the rectangular coordinate system. And then the second objective is how to plot ordered pairs in that system. So let's get going. Maybe. Okay. So a rectangular coordinate system is formed by two number lines. One is horizontal and one is vertical. And they intersect at a 0 point, the 0 point of each line. And the point of intersection is called the origin. That's right here in the middle of your graph, okay, the origin. The two lines are your axes, okay? So the horizontal axis is always the x-axis, the one out here, and the vertical line is your y-axis. So anytime that you have a coordinate system, what you're going to be looking at here is it's considered a coordinate plane, not the kind of plane you can fly on, but a plane that is a flat surface that extends in all directions forever and ever. Okay, and so now if you notice that that coordinate plane is divided into four parts, and those are called quadrants. They're numbered starting in the top right hand corner as quadrant 1, and then they're numbered counterclockwise, going to the left to 2, down to 3, and then right to 4. Now, not saying that this is any man bashing, but it might be a little bit. I don't know why they started over there and then went counterclockwise. To me, that just seems counterintuitive, but I would have started in the top left corner and gone clockwise, 1, 2, 3, 4, and round in a circle. But, you know, they didn't let me decide. So anyway, so that you need to know where the quadrants are that were decided by some idiot a long time ago. So on we go. Now, anytime that you have a point in the ordered pair in the coordinate system, that point can be identified by an ordered pair. If any of you have been in the military and done any mapping or anything like that, any type of things you're getting coordinates, that's all graphing, okay? Or those of you who haven't been in the military, maybe you played the game Battleship, and that is also graphing. You just didn't realize it. You were too busy sinking battleships, okay? So just like your cell phone, they can ping and tell exactly where you are based on coordinates. So the first number of an ordered pair is the horizontal distance. That's the one that goes left or right, and it's called the abscissa. The second number is your vertical distance, and that one tells you which way to go, up or down, and that's called the ordinate. Now, I'm going to always just call them x and y instead of abscissa and ordinate, because x and y is a lot quicker. So, but that's the order that they're always going to be. Whenever you have an ordered pair, it's always x and then y. Okay, so now when we get to graphing or plotting an ordered pair, it's all about going the right way first. So that's going to be very important. So make sure that as we go through this that you're graphing along with me so that you understand where these points are. So whenever you graph an ordered pair, what you have to do is go over to the first coordinate, to the x, and then up or down to the y. It always has to be in that order. So it's always x first and then y. And if you want to set up another ordered pair with little arrows, across first, up and down second. Okay, that's the idea. So look at how we've plotted the point 3, 4. We started at the origin, okay, and you go to the right 3, and from there you go up 4, and that's where you put your point, 3, 4. Okay. To get to -2.5 and -3, you have to go over. Now, 2.5 is not exact. You just go over halfway between the -2 and the -3, halfway, and then go down because it's a -3, 3 places, and your second point is there. Okay, so you're going to really need to make sure you know and understand how to graph points, because in the next section we're going to graph lines, and lines are made up of points. Exactly. So if you can't graph a point, you can't graph a line. So you got to keep that straight. All right, now what the heck does this say? This just says that the horizontal axis is the x-axis and the vertical is y. And we've already talked about this. Why are we beating the horse to death? X is the x-coordinate, duh. The abscissa is the x-coordinate, and the ordinate is the y-coordinate. All right, so that was kind of a waste of half of your life. All right, now we're going to plot the points here. So we want to plot the point 4, 5. So on the graph, start at the origin. We're going to go to the right 4 places, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right, and count up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you put your point right there. And if you want to label it, because that's pretty, there's point A. Okay, but put the point there, not the A, because it says plot the points, not plot the A. Okay, so make sure you put a point there. Now for point B, we have -4, -5. So I go to the left for a -4, 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left. And since it's a -5, from that point I go down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And my point is down here. That's point B. Okay. Now, point C, we have -1, 3. So I have to go to the left to -1, but it's a +3. So I go up 1, 2, 3 is where the C is. Okay? And then D, 3, -1, I have to go to the right, +3, 1, 2, 3 to the right. And because it's a -1, go down 1, and it's going to be down right there, letter D. Okay, now E is kind of a pain in the butt. You got 1/2 and -7/3. Well, 1/2 is not that bad because you just go over halfway between the 0 and the 1 on the x-axis. But for -7/3, what I would do is change it to a mixed number. 3 will go into 7 2 times. That would be 6, so there's still 1 left over. That would be -2 1/3. So that way you can kind of think about what whole numbers it's going to go between. That's what you need to see. Okay, so to graph 1/2, I go over to the right halfway between 0 and 1, and from that point I'm going to go down 1. So let me just kind of draw a line here. Went over halfway, now I'm going down 1, 2, it's a squiggly line, and just a little bit more past the 2, the -2, to -2 1/3. And I don't think any of your teachers are going to go, oh, it doesn't look like 1/3. It looks like maybe 3/5 there, you know. So, no, they're not going to do that. So there's point E. Okay, and ignore that little line there. Just the point is all you need. Okay. All right. Now, letter F. The ones with zeros are hard. A lot of people get these wrong, so take your time. Remember, the first number is across, and the second number is up or down. So we have to go to -2 to the left, go to the left 2, and then you don't go anywhere up or down, so you stay right on the axis. Okay, so F is right there on the x-axis. Okay. Letter G is 0, 0. Well, that's right there at the origin. In fact, that is the origin, is letter G. Okay. Now, H is really weird, pi and 1.1. So what you have to do here is you're going to estimate. Pi, the estimate for pi is 3.14. And we also have 1.1 as our y. So for x, you're going to go over 1, 2, 3 to the left, 3 to the right, sorry, 3 to the right, and a little bit past the 3. And then you're going to have to go up a little bit past the 1 to about right there. Okay, and that's where your H point would be. Okay, so you just estimate a little bit past the 3, a little bit past the 1. Okay, so as long as you're between the right whole numbers, you're good to go. Okay. All right, so this one says, a map of a national park is drawn so that the origin is placed at the ranger station. 4 fire observation towers are located at points A, B, C, and D. Estimate the coordinates of the fire towers relative to the ranger station. All distances are in miles. So we have the points A, B, C, and D on the graph here. And it says show solution on the graph on the next slide. So what we want to do is just give the coordinates of those points, A, B, C, and D. So let's look at the next page. All right, so A, the way that you find the coordinates is you start at the origin, okay, and then you're going to have to figure out where do I need to go to get to that point. So to get to point A, and ordered pairs are always written in parentheses, so that's very important. We have to go to the left to -1, so that's your first coordinate, is -1 for x. And from here, you're going to go down to -3 to get to point A. Okay, so your ordered pair is -1, -3. Now for point B, I have to go to the left to -2 to where it's even with that B point, -2, and from there I'm going to go up 3 places to get to the B. So it's a +3 because I went up. Okay. Now point C is a little tricky. We're going to go over to the right, and it looks like it's about halfway between 3 and 4. So I'm going to call that 3.5 because it's halfway. Okay. And then you have to go up to point C. Well, that's right between the 1 and the 2. So that's going to be 1.5. So if it's in the middle, just put 0.5 halfway through. Okay, no big deal. All right. And letter D. So go over, it looks like it's about right between the 1 and the 2. So that's 1.5. Okay. But then I have to go down, and it's right on the line at -2. It's right even with the -2. So the y coordinate there is -2. And I'm pretty sure that's it for 4.4. Oh, nope, I was wrong. Here's one more slide. So it says, does the point lie on the x-axis, y-axis, or in quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4? Okay, so here's the key to doing this problem. Ooh, that is a crooked line. All right, this is quadrant 1 up here in the right-hand corner, 2, 3, and 4. And remember, your horizontal is your x-axis and the vertical is the y. So that'll tell us where everything is. So what you're going to do, you're not going to plot all these numbers because some of them are really big. They did that on purpose. They want you to just think about where the number would be. So think about where -5, 4 would be. You would have to go to the left negative and then go up positive. So it's going to be somewhere up here in quadrant 2. Okay? All right? Now, -4, 0, remember you go to the left because your first number is your across to -4, and it's going to be right there on that line. So that is on the x-axis. Okay, that would be the answer to letter B. Now, letter C, 0, -17. So be careful. You're at 0, you don't go anywhere left or right, but then you have to go down to -17, so that's going to be on the y-axis. So you're just thinking about where the point's going to be. You're not doing an exact plotting of the point. You just need to see where's it going to be. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, or 4. Is it on an axis? That type of stuff. So look at letter D, -8, -20. So you're going to have to go to the left sum, okay, for -8, and then you go down to -20. So it's going to be down here in quadrant 3. Okay. And now letter E, 30, -50. So we have to go to the right, +30, but then you're going to go down -50. So it's going to be over here in quadrant 4. Okay. And 45, 62. Obviously, we're not going to plot that point, but you'd have to go over to +45 and then go up to +62. So that's going to be up in quadrant 1. Okay, so that's how you figure those out. I think it helps if you draw the graph so that you can just kind of estimate and think about where that point would be, and then it's easy to see what part of the coordinate system it's going to be in or on. Okay, and that should be it for 4.4. All right, good luck with that homework. Take care.